10 car brands are bleeding cash like a cracked radiator on a summer highway. While dealers promise incredible deals and amazing incentives, what they are really offering is desperation dressed up as generosity. These manufacturers are not being generous. They are panicking. Inventory is piling up faster than snow in a blizzard, and the money tied up in unsold vehicles is suffocating their balance sheets. Companies that spent decades building premium reputations are now slashing prices like discount furniture stores going out of business. The automotive landscape you thought you knew is collapsing in real time, and most people have no idea how bad it has gotten. In this video, I am revealing which 10 brands are in full crisis mode, why their fire sale pricing will not solve their fundamental problems, and what this means if you are buying or trading in a vehicle. Stay until the end because number 1 is not just struggling, it is actively planning its funeral. Subscribe right now because what is happening in showrooms across the country is not being reported anywhere else. Number 10, Ram. The truck wars just claimed a major casualty wearing a Ram badge. This brand built its identity on tough guy marketing and heavyweight capability, but behind the commercials lies a financial nightmare dealers can no longer hide. Ram's inventory crisis has reached catastrophic levels, with lots overflowing with unsold 1500s and heavy duties. Industry data shows some locations sitting on over 120 days of inventory, which in truck business means financial disaster. The desperation is visible in the incentive explosion. Ram is throwing everything at the wall to move metal. 0% financing for 84 months, $10,000 rebates on crew cabs, lease deals losing money on every transaction. One Texas dealer advertised a new Ram 1500 Bighorn for $11,000 below sticker, and it still took 3 weeks to sell. That is not a sale. That is liquidation. What Ram will not tell you is their quality reputation is tanking faster than resale values. Trucks that once commanded multi-generational loyalty now generate complaints about electrical gremlins, transmission shutters, and cheap interiors despite $50,000 prices. Consumer Reports dropped Ram's reliability near the bottom of full-size trucks, devastating for a segment where durability is everything. The real killer is Stellantis chaos at corporate headquarters. While Ford pours billions into electric F-150 variants and Chevrolet updates Silverado technology annually, Ram recycles aging platforms and powertrains. The upcoming electric Ram has been delayed multiple times. Meanwhile, fleet customers who bought Rams by the dozens are shifting to competitors. This fleet defection is the canary in the coal mine. When professional buyers making spreadsheet decisions walk away, it signals fundamental problems no advertising can fix. Number 9. Subaru. The all-wheel drive darling of outdoor enthusiasts is discovering niche appeal has limits crushing sales right now. Subaru cultivated loyal hikers and skiers who think they need all-wheel drive for that one snowstorm every 3 years. That worked until everyone else offered all-wheel drive standard, and suddenly Subaru's selling point became meaningless. Outback and Forester models that sold themselves now require aggressive incentives just to generate test drives. Customers are comparing specs and realizing a Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 offers similar capability with better reliability and stronger resale values. The loyalty collapse should terrify Subaru executives. This brand survived on fanatical repeat customers, creating a self-sustaining ecosystem of advocates. That ecosystem is cracking. Data shows Subaru's repurchase rate dropped nearly 15% over 4 years. Former Subaru families are defecting and not coming back. Why? Technology has fallen embarrassingly behind. Their infotainment feels designed in 2015 and never updated. Starlink is clunky compared to Hyundai, Mazda, or domestic brands. Driver assistance requires constant nagging and recalibration. For a brand targeting tech-savvy younger buyers, this is fatal. Then there is the engine problem Subaru refuses to address, honestly. Boxer engines developed reputations for oil consumption and head gasket failures. Forums overflow with owners documenting excessive oil burning under 60,000 miles. Some report adding a quart every 1,000 miles on supposedly healthy engines. Subaru issued technical service bulletins, but never comprehensive recalls, leaving customers stuck with expensive repairs on relatively new vehicles. This erodes trust faster than marketing rebuilds it. Financial pressure shows in shrinking profit margins. Average Subaru prices declined while incentive spending increased, a double squeeze devastating profitability. Analysts estimate Subaru earns 30% less per vehicle than 5 years ago. Number 8. Lincoln. Ford's luxury division is circling the drain, and the question is whether anyone will notice when it disappears. Lincoln's existential crisis reached terminal velocity. The brand that represented American luxury now represents confusion, irrelevance, and desperation, pricing fooling nobody. The Nautilus, Aviator, and Navigator offer no compelling reason to choose them over competitors. Not more luxurious than Germans, not more reliable than Japanese, not more innovative than Koreans. They exist in bland middle ground where nothing is special, and in luxury, being forgettable is death. Lincoln's dealer network is imploding as franchisees realize the brand cannot generate sustainable profits. Many dealers quietly de-emphasized Lincoln, giving it corner space in Ford showrooms rather than maintaining dedicated luxury environments. The marketing disconnect would be hilarious if not sad. Advertising promotes serene luxury, but dealerships offer desperate tactics and massive discounts. Vehicles advertised at $60,000 sell for $50,000 after rebates. That is clearance rack pricing with a luxury nameplate. Resale values tell the story. Lincoln's marketing will not. 3-year-old Lincolns lose value faster than almost any luxury competitor. A Navigator selling for $80,000 new might be worth $45,000 after 3 years, making leasing prohibitively expensive and ownership financially punishing. The electric future looks worse. While luxury brands race to establish EV credibility, Lincoln's plans are vague, underfunded, and years behind. Without massive investment Ford seems unwilling to provide, Lincoln has no pathway to relevance. Number 7. Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi's slow-motion collapse is so gradual, most people have not noticed the brand is already gone. Dealerships exist, vehicles technically sell, but Mitsubishi as meaningful automotive brand died years ago. What remains is corporate inertia winding down. The product lineup is a museum of outdated engineering. Outlander Sport unchanged since early 2010s. Eclipse Cross mocks the Eclipse name that once meant something. Mirage is so stripped down it makes budget competitors look luxurious. These are products designed to extract remaining value from depreciated tooling. Mitsubishi's marketing is invisible because there effectively is none. When did you last see a Mitsubishi commercial? The company abandoned consumer marketing, relying on subprime financing and deep discounts through a shrinking dealer network. The target customer has poor credit. This is not sustainable strategy. It is managed decline. Quality perception has fallen so far, Mitsubishi's became automotive punchlines. Reliability ratings near the bottom. Resale values collapsing. Safety technology lagging. No dimension offers compelling value unless your only criterion is cheapest price, accepting terrible credit. Dealer closures accelerate as franchisees realize the nameplate cannot support viable businesses. Many former Mitsubishi dealers bought out franchise agreements just to escape, sometimes converting to used car lots rather than continue selling new Mitsubishis. Remaining dealers consolidate, with single locations covering territories that once supported 3 or 4. Each closure creates a death spiral of declining presence and sales. The alliance with Nissan and Renault provided no meaningful benefit as all three struggle with existential crises. Industry analysts openly speculate about complete North American withdrawal. Number 6. Alfa Romeo. The Italian dream became an American nightmare for Stellantis, and dealers stuck selling beautiful but deeply flawed vehicles. Alfa Romeo returned with huge ambitions and gorgeous products supposed to steal German luxury customers. Instead, Alfa discovered styling alone cannot overcome terrible reliability, limited dealers, and complete absence of brand awareness among Americans under 50. The reliability catastrophe is killing any chance. Consumer Reports ranks Alfa absolute bottom of all brands. Owner forums overflow with electrical problems, engine issues, mysterious failures. One Giulia owner documented 5 unscheduled dealer visits first year, each for different problems, none permanently fixed. Reliability issues create resale disaster, making Alfa ownership financially insane. Three-year-old Alfas retain approximately 50% value compared to 70% for Germans. A Giulia Quadrifoglio purchased for $80,000 might be worth $40,000 3 years later, punishing every owner. Dealers push leases with buried incentives rather than purchases. The dealer network is evaporating. The brand peaked at 130 dealers nationwide, shrinking to fewer than 90. Many treat Alfa as afterthought, sharing space with Jeep or Ram. Without robust dealers, luxury buyers will not consider the brand. Marketing completely failed to establish Alfa identity in American consciousness. Millions spent on gorgeous commercials featuring Italian design and racing heritage generated almost zero purchase consideration. Fewer than 5% of luxury shoppers can name an Alfa model. This awareness void is nearly impossible to overcome without investment Stellantis will not provide. Alfa's electric plans are non-existent. No plug-in hybrids, no dedicated EVs, no announced timeline. As regulations tighten, Alfa has nothing to offer. Number 5. Volkswagen. The people's car became the car people avoid. Volkswagen built reputation for German engineering at accessible prices, then destroyed it through scandal, quality problems, and strategic confusion, leaving the brand directionless. The Dieselgate hangover refuses to fade, though the emission scandal broke nearly a decade ago. Americans have long memories for corporate dishonesty, and Volkswagen's deliberate cheating created trust deficit no advertising can repair. Quality problems compound trust issues. Dependability studies rank Volkswagen bottom third, particularly electrical and infotainment reliability. Features marketed as advanced technology become frustration when screens freeze or systems crash. The electric transition is failing. Volkswagen announced ambitious plans promising ID-branded EVs, establishing the company as leader. Instead, ID.4 launched plagued by software problems, delays, and quality issues, squandering early enthusiasm. This execution failure handed market share to competitors delivering functional EVs on time. While Tesla dominated and Korean brands established strong positions, Volkswagen fumbled leveraging its scale and recognition. Now the company is late to a market it should have led. Pricing makes no sense as Volkswagen commands premium pricing despite mainstream perception. Atlas or Tiguan equipped to match Honda or Toyota cost thousands more, yet Volkswagen lacks reliability, reputation, or resale value justifying the premium. This forces constant discounting, eroding premium positioning. Dealer profitability collapses as franchisees struggle making money. Thin margins, high inventory costs, expensive facilities, and constant warranty claims squeeze profits to nothing. Some dealers quietly add other brands or convert to used operations rather than depend on Volkswagen sales. When dealers give up, the end is near. Number 4. Infiniti. Nissan's luxury division is a case study in wasting billions creating nothing of value. Infiniti had 2 decades to establish credible luxury alternative and created a brand so forgettable most people under 30 cannot name a single model. The situation is beyond recovery. The lineup is badge engineering at most cynical. Take a Nissan, add leather, jack up price $15,000, call it Infiniti. Consumers see QX60 is fancier Pathfinder and question why pay luxury prices for mainstream engineering. Technology is embarrassingly outdated. Infotainment systems feel a generation behind. Driver assistance standard on $30,000 Hondas is optional or unavailable on $60,000 Infinitis. This forces massive incentive spending, destroying positioning. Infiniti regularly offers among highest incentives industry-wide, sometimes exceeding $10,000 per vehicle. Consequences appear in catastrophic resale values. QX60 selling for $55,000 new might be worth $30,000 after 3 years, making leasing expensive and ownership devastating. When trade-in comes, owners discover vehicles worth thousands less than comparable Lexus or Acura, creating one-time buyers who never return. Brand awareness is non-existent among younger buyers representing luxury's future. Buyers under 40 have near zero Infiniti consideration, no cultural relevance, no social media presence, no lifestyle associations. Infiniti exists as automotive wallpaper. Nissan's deep financial trouble stopped Infiniti investment. No major new models developing. Vague electrification plans. Contracting dealer network. Infiniti is being slowly starved until it fades away. Number 3. Maserati. The Italian brand symbolizing exotic luxury became a cautionary tale. Maserati's crisis is multifaceted with no recovery pathway visible through Stellantis chaos. Every luxury metric flashes red. The quality disaster is unprecedented for six-figure vehicles. Reliability ratings are historically catastrophic. Consumer Reports stopped rating some Maseratis due to insufficient responses from low sales, but responses indicated Maserati would rank dead last. Owners report electrical problems, engine failures, transmission issues unacceptable in $100,000 exotics. Reliability nightmares destroy brand reputation one customer at a time. Owners share horror stories of vehicles spending months in service, dealers unable to diagnose problems. Resale values collapsed, making Maserati ownership economically insane. Ghibli purchased for $85,000 might be worth $35,000 3 years later, one of worst value retentions industry-wide. Brand positioning is completely incoherent as Maserati simultaneously tries being exotic Italian sports cars and mainstream luxury SUVs. Competing with Ferrari and Lamborghini, or BMW and Mercedes? The lineup suggests the company does not know. MC20 chases Ferrari while Levante and Grecale compete in crowded mainstream luxury. This confuses customers and dilutes brand equity. Dealer support evaporates as franchisees realize Maserati cannot sustain profitable operations. Dealers require expensive facilities, specialized training, and parts inventory making sense only with healthy volumes and service traffic. Neither exists. Many downgraded facilities or consolidated rather than maintain standalone showrooms for brands selling dozens annually instead of hundreds. Electric future is non-existent. While competitors announce EV plans and show concepts, Maserati has vague promises. First EV delayed multiple times. Without credible electrification, Maserati has no future in markets restricting combustion vehicles. Number 2. Polestar. The Swedish electric brand, supposed to represent Volvo's cool sibling, attracting Tesla buyers, became a masterclass in wasting billions. Launch has been slow-motion disaster, worsening every quarter. With sales so low, many Americans never saw a Polestar despite years available. Brand awareness problem is fundamental. Polestar spent relatively little on consumer marketing. Result is 4 years into U.S. sales, most buyers cannot identify a Polestar, never considered it shopping EVs. You cannot sell cars to people who do not know you exist. The dealer model is broken. Polestar attempted direct sales with urban showrooms, but this failed generating meaningful traffic. Showrooms are beautiful but empty. Online purchase creates friction for customers accustomed to test drives and negotiation. Product differentiation is nearly non-existent as Polestars share platforms with Volvos while costing thousands more. Polestar 2 is essentially Volvo C40 with different styling and higher price. Pricing makes no sense in increasingly competitive EV market. Polestar positioned vehicles at premium prices comparable to Tesla and above mainstream electric competitors, but lacks Tesla's technology leadership, Toyota's reliability reputation, or Porsche's performance credentials. This leaves Polestar too expensive for practical shoppers and not prestigious enough for luxury buyers. Every month brings another price cut or incentive program, signals of desperation, undermining premium positioning. Financial bleeding accelerates as losses per vehicle, and collapsing sales create unsustainable situation. Parent company Geely poured billions with almost nothing to show for the investment. North American sales measured in hundreds monthly when they need tens of thousands justifying investment. Analysts openly question how long Geely continues funding losses. Infrastructure investment is wasted as Polestar built expensive urban showrooms generating minimal sales. Each location represents millions in real estate, staffing, and operations, creating massive fixed costs unjustified by sales. Some close quietly, others operate reduced hours with skeleton staff. This is what retreat looks like. Number 1. Lucid. The EV startup supposed to challenge Tesla became a case study in how hype does not equal sales and burning billions cannot compensate for fundamental problems. Lucid's crisis is existential and immediate. The company fights for survival monthly, and long-term success odds diminish rapidly. Production disaster ongoing for years with no resolution in sight. Lucid promised volume production and mass market expansion, but delivers vehicles in trickles, unsustaining operations. Arizona factory designed for high volume operates at small capacity fraction. Manufacturing bottlenecks, supply chain problems, and quality control limit output to levels cannot possibly generate profits. Cash burn accelerates, threatening near-term bankruptcy. Lucid spends billions annually generating minimal revenue. Already raised additional capital multiple times through stock sales and strategic investments, but this dilutes shareholders and only delays inevitable without solving problems. Analysts estimate Lucid has perhaps 12 to 18 months runway at current burn rates. Without dramatic improvement, another capital raise will be necessary, assuming investors still willing to fund continuing losses. Market awareness is surprisingly low for a company receiving billions in investment and years of coverage. Consumer surveys show most buyers never heard of Lucid. Among those who have, few can explain what makes Lucid different from Tesla, or why they would consider buying one. This awareness gap is nearly impossible to overcome without massive marketing spending Lucid cannot afford. Product positioning makes no sense as Lucid focuses on ultra-luxury high-price vehicles in a market demanding affordable electric options. Lucid Air starts above $70,000, topping above $150,000, positioning against ultra-luxury competitors with decades of brand equity. This might work for unlimited capital and patience for slow growth, but Lucid has neither. Mass market models promised keep getting pushed back as the company struggles stabilizing current production. Dealer network problems cripple sales where consumers want traditional experiences. Lucid attempted showroom and direct sales models similar to Tesla, but execution has been poor. Showrooms sparse and limited to major urban markets, leaving vast regions with zero physical presence. Service infrastructure worse, with many customers hundreds of miles from nearest Lucid service center. This makes ownership impractical outside major metropolitan areas. Quality control issues emerge as early vehicles age. Owner forums document software glitches, component failures, and build quality inconsistencies that should not exist in six-figure vehicles. Some report multiple service visits for same problems. Others describe features not working as advertised. Early reliability problems are poison for a startup establishing credibility against entrenched competitors. Each disappointed customer becomes anti-advocate, spreading negative reviews, preventing future sales. Competition intensifies exactly when Lucid can least afford it. Established luxury brands launching EVs with better dealer networks, proven service infrastructure, and brand equity Lucid cannot match. BMW, Mercedes, and Audi fielding electric sedans, competing directly at similar or lower prices, offering conventional ownership and reliable service. Newer entrants like Hyundai's Ioniq offer compelling EVs at half Lucid's cheapest price. This competition squeeze leaves Lucid with no clear advantage and no obvious path to sustainable market share. Stock price collapse destroyed investor confidence and employee morale. Lucid stock fallen over 90% from peak, wiping out tens of billions in shareholder value, making future capital raises difficult. Employees joined expecting startup equity upside now hold essentially worthless options. Key personnel leaving for competitors or established automakers. This talent drain compounds operational problems, making recovery more difficult. Bankruptcy speculation is no longer fringe theory. Mainstream analysts openly discuss Lucid's potential failure scenarios and debate whether strategic acquisition or liquidation is more likely. Some argue Lucid's technology and manufacturing assets have value to established automakers even if the brand cannot survive independently. This speculation becomes self-fulfilling as customers avoid buying from potentially bankrupt companies and investors refuse providing additional capital. So there you have it. 10 brands that went from automotive players to clearance rack casualties fighting for survival. The real lesson is not about any single brand's failure. It is about an industry in the middle of the most brutal transformation in automotive history. Electric vehicles, changing consumer preferences, economic pressure, and decades of bad decisions are colliding at once, and these 10 brands are just the most visible casualties. If you are in the market right now, this information is gold. These struggling brands offer deals that will never happen again because they literally cannot afford to continue at these prices. But understand what you are buying. You are getting a cheap vehicle from a manufacturer that might not support it properly in 5 years. Resale values will be terrible. Parts availability could become problematic. Service quality will likely decline as dealers close or deprioritize these brands. For some buyers, that is acceptable trade-off for the right price. For others, it is nightmare waiting to happen. Make sure you understand which category you fall into before you sign anything. The automotive landscape is changing faster than ever. Brands that seem solid today could be on next year's crisis list. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and never trust a salesperson telling you everything is fine when inventory overflows and incentives are at record levels. That is desperation talking, not honesty. If this video helped you understand what is really happening in the automotive market, hit that subscribe button because I will continue exposing the truth dealerships and manufacturers do not want you to know. Share this with anyone planning to buy a vehicle because this information could save them thousands or prevent a purchase they will regret for years. The automotive industry is in crisis, and only informed buyers will come out ahead. Thanks for watching.